And as California lawmakers continue working to balance the state budget, officials in Glenn County, too, are working to do the same before the July 1st deadline. Action News reporter Brian Callahan joins us now with the latest on the county's plan to close its $1.3 million deficit. Brian.
Kira, the Glenn County supervisors were scheduled to vote on the proposed budget this morning, but had to postpone that vote until next week because of ongoing negotiations with labor unions. But that didn't stop several people in the audience from commenting about the $888,000 in cuts to the sheriff's office.
What kind of people are going to come into this county if they think that we don't have an active sheriff department?
Even after Glenn County supervisors announced they would not make a decision on the 2011-2012 budget, a half dozen people still chose to address the board about the proposed $888,000 cut to the sheriff's department.
I cannot do what I am sworn to do with that type of cut.
Sheriff Larry Jones detailed more than $400,000 in cuts he could make to the department without laying off deputies, but said 24-hour patrols are likely not possible year-round.
A week and a half ago, both graveyard cars, we had this flu bug go through us, they both called in sick. We didn't have anybody on.
Members of the Deputy Sheriff's Association say the steep cuts that have been made to the department over the past few years have left them short-staffed, which is not just dangerous for deputies, but for people in rural areas as well.
Our response time is already very long, and when you have to wait for another officer to come on duty or deputy to come on duty to respond there, I mean, it's, you're looking at 2 hours to get to those places, and that's just unacceptable.
With the threat of an additional loss of $700,000 from the state come July 1st, the sheriff asked the board to search for every last penny.
I don't have all the answers, but if we can find a way to trim that $888,000 by a few more $100,000, it would go a long ways to keeping our agency somewhat viable.
The chairman of the board told me there isn't much they can do about the cuts because they simply don't have the money. A special budget meeting has been set for 10 a.m. June 29th, where the board is scheduled to vote on the budget. For Action News, I'm Brian Callahan.
Thanks, Brian.